What's up, boys? Thought I'd do a state of the watch collection video since all I've been thinking about is watches for the past 2-3 months. So yeah, I thought I'd make this video as a mark to look back on in like 10 years when I have a whole box of Rolexes and see how I was during my Brokey era. We'll see. Hopefully. So to start off, this is my Orient Komatsu. This is the watch I've worn the most for the past month or so. Since I got back to Malaysia, I got this on Shopee for about 1,000 ringgit, which is in the affordable section of watches at least. If you've been on YouTube, you've definitely seen this watch. If you're on the watch tube, this is touted as one of the best affordable dive watches, mainly because of this sapphire glass. You don't get this at this price range, but the one downside of this watch is that it doesn't have anti-reflective coating, which is expected of this price range. But I never knew how much that would bother me, because every time I take a picture with this watch, you can just see the reflections, and in a bad way, like it's glaring, and in certain angles it kind of looks like, I don't know, you just can't really see the dial and that beautiful sunburst effect it has. But other than that, if this watch has anti-reflective coating, I mean, the case and the dial will be perfect for me. And the strap, people say this is a bad strap, but for me it's not bad, because I don't really have experience with higher end watches and higher end straps. People say this is nothing compared to a Rolex strap. Thankfully, I haven't tried a Rolex strap, so it's fine for me. And one thing I was worried about was the size, because this is about a 42mm case, and I have a 6-inch wrist, which is pretty small, all things considered. And if you can see here, it wears pretty well. I'll add some B-roll in the background if I'm not lazy. I don't mind how this wears. It has about a 47mm lug to lug, which is the length here, which I find fits me fine. And because this is okay for me, my first luxury watch I'm planning to buy is a Black Bay 58. So I've scoured the entirety of Malaysia. Not that I have the money to buy it yet, but just to try it on at ADs. So that's something me and my dad have done for the past couple of weeks. We just go to ADs and malls and just try out watches. And I always feel bad because we always spend 20-30 minutes there and we never end up buying anything. But I always want to try the Black Bay 58, because again, if you go on YouTube, this is like, people say it's the best affordable luxury watch. And it's about the same size as this. The case is a bit smaller, but the lug to lug is just a tad longer, which I am not too worried about, because I feel like this could be longer and it will still fit me. But that watch, that is my next watch. I feel like that has the aesthetic I really love, like that gold and black. That's always been what I love in terms of watches. I remember my first serious watch. Okay, not my first serious watch, but the watch I really reminisce on the good times I had it when I was 15 was a gold G-Shock. It wasn't actually gold, obviously, but I saw it at the G-Shock store, and I was like, oh my god, it's black and gold and a G-Shock. And at that time, the G-Shocks were what in my head were the watch for men, because all the men in my life wore G-Shocks, and it's just a stereotype, I guess. But and ever since that point, I've had an affinity for black and gold watches. So this watch will satisfy that teenage love for black and gold watches. I really, really want that watch. Everywhere I've checked, people say that there's a wait. The ADs say that there's a waiting list of about 6 months. They don't have stock. Blah blah blah. They won't even let me try on the watch. I've been to 3 Q-Day ADs, and I ask, can I try this watch? And they're like, no, because that specific watch is always reserved for someone, and they won't let me try it. But I've taken several pictures of it. Maybe I'll show them up on the screen now. But yeah, that's the next big thing. I'm hoping to get it at the end of uni. Like my idealistic version of how I would get that watch is at the end of uni, I would go to Geneva and I would get that watch, and then probably not gonna happen, but I'll post an Instagram story with this clip of a Drake song where he's like 42 millimeter was made in Geneva, and I'm like, yeah, and I'll be like flexing the watch. Yeah, that's in my dreams, and watch isn't even 42 millimeters. So that's kind of funny, but yeah, that's that in terms of this watch. My next watch, I only have 3 watches in my collection at this point that I regularly wear. So my next watch is, I guess this is my grail. This is a Grand Seiko SGBX 261. Yeah, I got this in London with my dad, and yeah, I've ever since I started getting into watches, Grand Seiko has always had this been in my head as one of the best watchmakers because of that one Teddy Baldassar video. If you've seen it, the one about the spring drive movement and how it's the greatest watch movement ever, and ever since that point I was like, whoa, I need a Grand Seiko. And the funny thing is, this watch doesn't have a spring drive movement. This is a quartz watch, but since I had that idea of Grand Seiko as a brand, I just decided to look for the cheapest Grand Seiko I could get, and yeah, this was it. And in the AD I went to at these watches, Switzerland, and yeah, I'll have some B-roll in the background. This watch, I'll tell you something. This really sparkles at night, especially when there's a lot of lights. Yeah, the Zaratsu polishing on it is killer. It really blings at night, and it's a treat to watch. Yeah, it is a quartz watch. It is accurate up to -10 to +10 seconds a year, which is really good. Well, yeah, one of the best quartz movements. Although I will say that if you've given me the money that this watch costed, and I've had the opportunity to go back in time, I probably would have made a different purchase. Probably wouldn't have bought one watch. I probably would have bought two watches for the price of this, and if they probably would have been automatic. But yeah, I'm still very still in love with this watch, just because I don't know, that it really sparkles, bro. I don't know if the camera probably won't pick this up because it's daytime right now and I can't be asked to film it later today. But yeah, no, this watch is really nice, and it fits my wrist perfectly because it is a rather small watch. I believe it's 37 millimeters, and yeah, and that is nice. It fits me. Again, I probably thinking back about it, maybe I should have gone the white version, the champagne dial, because that has a sunburst effect as opposed to this inky black dial. But you know what? You can look back and think about all the what ifs. At the end of the day, I'm happy with this watch. I love it. It's a great, nighttime piece. I really mainly wear this at night, or if I'm going to an AD, because I can't roll up to the AD with the Orient. They'll be like, "Come on, who's this guy?" If I roll up with the Grand Seiko, they'll be like, "Okay." Yeah, but I like this watch, and I made a scratch on it, which kind of sucks. Oh yeah, and I scratched the strap really badly because, well, me and my girlfriend, we were doing a picnic with a few friends, and we had a barbecue thing, right? So we had a instant barbecue thing. We wanted to find a place, something to put under it, because we were in a field grass. So I was looking around for something to put under the barbecue thing. So I found a brick. Cool. I grabbed the brick, and while I was putting it down, yeah, I scratched my strap, which probably wasn't the smartest idea to wear this watch, but at the time this was my only watch in hand. So yeah, you know what? It's a story to tell, and I'm telling that story right now. Yeah. I have no idea where this other scratch came on the case, but it is what it is, man. okay, my other watch I usually wear is, where is it? Fuck. It's Casio. This I got this on Amazon actually, like back in London. Yeah, I think I overpaid for it considering how cheap they are in Malaysia. This is the watch I wear if I'm like working out. If I'm gonna like walk around a lot, because I find that if I wear this watch or even the Grand Seiko, like I kind of like goes down on my wrist so much, and then the crown digs into my hand, especially because I like to wear my watches loose in Malaysia, because like it's very humid and my wrist tends to like expand and contract throughout the day and it's kind of sweaty, so it's nice to have a bit of leeway in terms of the fit. But yeah, and this thing is quite heavy as well, so that's why I like the Casio, because it's really light. And yeah, if I'm doing like physical stuff, yeah, it's fine because it's so light and it has stopwatch on it, which is nice because when you work out, you want to time your workouts, your sets or whatever, and it's light on it, which is more than the other two watches have. And this watch is more accurate than the other two for like a tenth of the price. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much value you get with the watch. But watches are a romantic pursuit. It's not logical, whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah, but this is a good watch. If I only had one watch, it wouldn't be this watch. It would be the Grand Seiko. But if it was like the Apocalypse, if I needed one watch, it'd be the Casio for sure. So yeah, what are some other watches that I want to get? Obviously, I would love to have a spring drive watch. Snowflake is one that people always talk about, and that is the one I would like to get. But I don't know if I'll ever get it. Maybe when who knows, when I have a box of Rolexes and the price of a Snowflake is like nothing. Who knows? One day we'll see. Yeah, I already talked about the Black Bay 58. That is a more like short-term goal, I think, because it isn't crazy expensive, all things considered. The only problem is like the AD situation. Like I need to wait 6 months, and I don't even know if I get it at the end of 6 months because they'll be putting me on the list or whatever. And yeah, we'll see if the Geneva thing comes around. Who knows, man? Maybe I'll make a Geneva vlog picking up my Black Bay 58 at Geneva. Who fucking knows, man? That'll be the dream. That'll be the dream for sure. And yeah, actually, I do have another watch. I don't really wear this one as often. I got this before I got into watches. We were in Ashford. Yeah, as the designer outlet, not designer outlet, the premium outlet. At one of the watch shops there, I got this Quartz Seiko. Yeah, I didn't know anything about watches at all at that point, so I just went off on looks. I just wanted a classic looking watch. And yeah, this fit the bill at the time, and looking back on it, could have probably gotten something better for the price. But yeah, it's nice. It's a quartz watch, has a nice sort of sunburst effect. Can't go wrong with Seiko, man. Like, and I'm glad I picked the leather strap because I also want to get a nice dress watch. I've been looking at the Junghans Max Bill, which is kind of a minimalistic sort of watch. Yeah, it's like really classic looking, and yeah, it seems like a really good versatile watch. Although like the price on it, people say it's affordable, but to me, for looking at what it is, I would assume they would have went for cheaper. But I think it's because of the history of Max Bill and Junghans and the history of the brand. They can charge more for it, and we'll see. And I was actually planning to get that watch. But hey, I think I'll just save up for the Black Bay 58. I think this video has gone on long enough. Yeah, this is just a short video just to see my collection now. And I'll watch this video again in 10 years, and we'll have a comparison of how my watch collection is then. Yeah, these are my Brookie watches. We'll see when I'm a top G, who fucking knows. My Lamborghini, my Bugatti. Where's your Bugatti? Alright.